if you're developing a proposal, there's a whole bunch of conversation about, well, I want the government to think this, and let's put it in the executive summary, and then we'll shape the thinking. It really doesn't. Most of the sub teams and the proposal evaluation don't read the executive summary. They only read their section. And when they talk about everything needs to be standalone, it needs to be standalone. I remember one of my first jobs as a lieutenant was I had to rip apart all those binders and make new binders so that the technical team for evaluation factor number one had each one of the sections from each one of the binders for evaluation factor number one. They didn't see anything else. They didn't see the executive summary. They didn't see the rest of the documentation that was provided. They didn't see the CPARs. They didn't see past performance. They didn't see anything. They only saw that one section that we ripped out. So a lot of times the contracting officer, the team, the evaluation team will say, look, you've got 10 proposals. Your job, Fred, is to give me a coordinated evaluation of those 10 for section one, whatever that might be, or evaluation criteria, technical 1.1. And I don't care what else you do. I don't need you to do anything else. So if you're Fred and you say, oh, I've got 10 rocks to crush, I don't really care about anything else. I'm just going to do the piece in front of me because it becomes overwhelming. And oh, by the way, I've got a deadline. And oh, by the way, they're not letting me out of the building, or they're not letting me do anything else until I get this done. So you're not going to take any time to go and cross look into anything else. So as you're writing proposals, you really want to do a couple of key things for the government. And this is what I thought was brilliant. You basically have to assume that everybody's reading a ton, and they have the attention span of a gnat. So I always talk, you've heard the word bottom line up front, BLUF. If you really want to really get, impactful proposals, what I loved, and I can't speak to, there's no rule about this, but what I really liked was for each section, if there was one synopsis summary, right up front, it said, hey, we're going to do this and this. We're going to crush it because of this and this. All the details follow. So at this point, you've already convinced me of what you want me to take away. And then everything else just reinforces that and gives me some material to make my comments that, hey, this is how they're going to approach it. There were times when I would lift, copy and paste, narrative right out of a proposal because it was perfect. It was exactly what I needed as an evaluator. But the key on this one is, if you make me search, if you're going to say, no, you got to read everything, so I want you to really understand, you have a risk of losing your audience. So each section, technical, and if you look at the range of the things you're trying to influence, the pieces that are specifically evaluated, this is where you really want to be careful with this. The contract responsibility determination is really kind of cut and dry. Don't spend too much time there. Just answer their questions. Provide the reps and certs, provide the certifications of, whatever that is, based on whatever the demand signal from the contracting team. The technical narrative, if you are being evaluated and, the technical is the most important or is a significant portion of this is where you really want to make sure you make it easy for the evaluators and the people who are defending their evaluation. So put something really clear up front. One of my favorite quotes is Lincoln said, I wrote a 2-page letter because I didn't have time to write a 1-page letter. And it's true.